Before our presentation starts, let me greeting to our lecturers. We are from Group 4 and our topic discussed is synthesis and characterization of a coordination complex of Tetrakis diphenylamine copper 2 sulfate hexahydrate. Based on infrared spectra, it was determined that the functional groups of NH of diphenylamine was coordinated to the center ion Cu2+. The electronic spectra study of the complex showed a transition peak on lambda equals to 593 nanometer. The complex was paramagnetic with effective magnetic moment 1.72 bm. It was indicated square planar geometry around Cu2+ ion. Synthesis copper, this complex was reported to have potentiality in catalytic system, solar cell as dye sensitizer, and etc. It also able to form many geometries with different types and number of ligands. The ligand diphenylamine, it is colorless solid but often yellow due to oxidized impurities. Diphenylamine and its derivatives are commonly used as stabilizer, propellant, antioxidant reagents, and etc. Diphenylamine is a monodentate ligand that having one donating site with a lone pair of electrons on the nitrogen atom. So the complex were characterized through atomic absorption spectroscopy AS, molar conductivity, UV visible IR, and magnetic susceptibility measurements.
The first diagram shows the infraspectra were recorded on spectrophotometer as KBR pellets in the frequency range of 4000 to 450 cm-1. The second diagram shows the synthesis of copper-2 complex. The complex has been prepared by reaction of copper-2 sulfate and diphenylamine in methanol. 10 ml metatolic solution of copper-2 sulfate was added dropwise to 20 ml metatolic solution of diphenylamine with constant stirring for 6 hours. The solution was then concentrated to 15 ml of volume and left to stand for 48 hours. The precipitate was filtered with filter paper, then dried in a desiccator for 24 hours.
The main results for this experiment are shown as below. The first one is electronic spectra. Based on the figure, it shows the shift of copper sulfate pentahydrate maximum absorption wavelength is 819 nanometer towards smaller wavelengths in the complex copper-2 diphenylamine, which is 593 nanometer. The maximum wavelength of copper complexes in 613, 586, or 579 nanometer attributed to square planar geometry. Next is infrared analysis. Based on both figures, there are two functional groups, which is secondary amine and aryl amine. There is no absorption of OH due to overlapping of the NH and OH absorption band. Lastly, it is found that the magnetic properties for this complex is 1.72 bm, which has only one unpaired electron. This magnetic moment value of copper-2 complex indicates that Tetrakis diphenylamine copper-2 sulfate hexahydrate is a square planar geometry. Based on the figure, the copper complex was formed by coordination of 4 amine groups of diphenylamine.